What is going on, guys? Thank you guys for tuning in for another video. I have been gone where you guys want me to test more phones. I'm thinking about going full on this channel because I love tech. I love reviewing phones. I love reviewing everything that is about Androids and things like that. Other type of things too, like cameras, lenses, mics. I still need to review my wireless mic that I bought. Today we're talking about and we're reviewing the iPhone 16 Pro. I was gonna charge it all the way up, but we're at 90%. I mean, close enough, right? I don't know if you can see either there or here. 90%. I do have my always display on. I've found it to be very useful. At first, I was like, copying Android. They've had it for a while, but now I use it a lot. I usually lay my phone on my bag like this, and sometimes I don't want to grab it and I want to see the time, and boom, it's right there. Let me just go over my quick setup here. Let me take the brightness down a little bit. So nothing too crazy. I got the weather app. I got my Spotify, most used apps right here. I got a little widget here for my maps, pictures, to-do list, or is it a calendar or to-do list, calendar. My verse of the day, which is everyone, everywhere, every day. Wait, that's not the verse of the day. I don't know what that is. And then obviously here I got my my battery percentages here. I don't think I have enough milk. Boom. Ready? Oh. For the past, I ain't gonna show you the mid section because it's not well. We are also going to be ordering the Pixel 10 Pro today at some point. So, but anyways, let's talk about the iPhone 16 Pro and what it is to own one. So, you guys know that I made a video a while back. I had a 13 Pro with 128 gigs. Now 128 gigs now is nothing. 128 is just not enough. And so the only reason that I would have upgraded at that time was storage. And so I was able to sell the 13 Pro. I think I was able to get like $450 or $500 out of it. And that's what it was selling for on Facebook Market. So I'm like, you know what? I got a 512 gigs, and I was like, let me just get the 16 Pro. And I like to be honest with you guys, not too much difference. The cameras, honestly, I don't see much difference at all, even with video or photo. And lately, for some reason, the iPhone has been taking pictures that are a little bit, like the highlights are kind of like too much. The shadows aren't there. I compared it with the Pixel 9a when I had the 9a, and the software processing of the Pixel cameras is just amazing. Like, so like night and day difference. The picture that came out of the iPhone was the highlights were too increased. The shadows were increased at all. There wasn't much contrast, much of shadows. And then with the Pixel 9a, the exposure was right on, the shadows where it needed to be, and I'm like, how can a $500 phone beat I think it was $1,300 for a phone? I'm like, that's crazy. Like, iPhone used to do so much better with the pictures. The camera button here, I've been using a lot. Let me get my face out of the way. Hold on, focus. There it goes. This I've been using a lot just because it's there. So anytime that I'm out and about and I'm like, I gotta take a picture, boom, there it is. The zooming on it, I don't use as much because I don't like the zoom on the iPhones. The iPhones, when you zoom in, you can only zoom in on whatever lens that it's on. So for example, if you're on a 1X and you zoom in, it's just going to zoom in on that same lens. If you, I don't know if I'm explaining myself right, but the zooming in and out on the iPhones, I don't know why it sucks. The action button here, it's just basically, I just have it for silent or ringer, and you can customize it to whatever you want it to be. Not whatever you want it to be. There's a couple options there. Performance is a little bit better just because it has a better chip, but I don't notice a night and day difference. And I don't really edit much of 4K on my phone because I use my Mac for that. You know, it does get a little hot whenever you're doing, you know, multitasking, and it gets really, really hot when I use Lightroom. I don't know why it gets really, really hot. Well, I'm assuming Lightroom uses a lot of resources. And it gets really hot when I do hotspot and using the phone at the same time, or using the maps and doing a hotspot to my daughter's tablet. So that's the only thing that I've noticed. And by the way, my wife is thinking of actually switching to Android. Her 14 Pro has been overheating for no apparent reason. It just gets hot. I don't know what that's all about. I think it's time for her to really try Android. You know, the build quality is still, you know, very, very nice. If you're looking at this and you're looking at the 14, 13, 15, you don't know which one is which, to be quite honest with you guys. The USB-C though, it has been a game changer. I'll tell you that right now. USB-C is a game changer. And the call quality is superb. And the speakers on these are really, really great. It can get really, really loud. So anytime, you know, you're playing some music, my 3-year-old always wants me to play music on my phone when she's playing outside, and this really does the job. And as far as calls, I have no complaints. Every time it's very, very clear, unless, you know, the person is in an area where, you know, there's signal issues, but the calls are very, very clear. So props to the iPhone for having such clear calls. Also, if you haven't followed me on my media page, go ahead and go on TikTok and follow me, SGO Media. I don't know why it always does the macro. I think there's a setting in the camera that you can turn it off. Anyways, if you know, you know. I usually check my Gmail when I'm at work, just because I want to see what is going on. I'm trying Factor again, and I'll tell you guys why I'm doing Factor again, what I did before. And I also like to check my channels, which again, I want to go full on with my media page. I'm at 2,486,000. Hold on, what in the world did I just say? 2,486 subscribers, if you guys can see there. You don't make much money, guys, so don't. I mean, I'm not gonna gatekeep. I mean, throughout the channel, I've made close to 455. June was my highest month with $91. But I know that a lot of the money that you have from social media, from doing any type of content, is from brand deals. That's for what I've heard. So I'm at 88%. And like I said, we were at 90 earlier. Just been playing some music, watching some TikToks here and there, but we're about 80% on the iPhone 16 Pro. All right, we are going into Christmas vibes. So we're kind of decorating around for Christmas. Another thing that I don't like about the iPhone, and it's something that you only know when you get used to on Android, is the back button. Because you can swipe on either side of your Android phone and it'll go back, and that's with any Android devices. And so on Android, you can swipe on both. And because I'm already here, right? If I'm here, I can, naturally, my thumb is already on the right-hand side of it, right? So for me, I would just swipe to the left on the right side to go back. But with iPhone, you either have to go from here, or there's a back button like on the top right hand side. I don't know if you guys can tell, but you would either have to go this way or the back. With Android, it's right here where your thumb is already at. And so that's just kind of another thing that I miss a lot from Android, because I'm like, I want to go back and I want to use, like, for example, if I'm using it with both hands, I want to use my index to just go back. You see what I'm saying? It's just easier for me. I got used to it. Another thing is file transfer. With Android, you always have a status bar telling you the percentage of the transfer, right? With iPhone, you just have to guess. Like, has it been transferred? Has it not? Like, what's going on? And for some reason, you have to click on the video, hit save video, and then you're kind of guessing to see if it's actually saving it or not. So annoying. I don't know why it is so annoying to transfer files over to your iPhone. You either have to airdrop it from your laptop, from your MacBook, and it's just, why isn't it just easier on iOS? Now it's 2025, make it easier for us to transfer files. That's just another thing that I really don't enjoy, but I do love airdrop though. Airdrop is such a great feature. But now with Android devices and things like that, you have local send. You have other apps now that can do or even do things better than AirDrop. So, oh, we got our tiny Christmas tree up. My wife wants a big one, but it's not in the budget right now. So another thing that I don't really like is that it just overheats at random times. And my wife's 14 Pro has now started to overheat for no apparent reason. Mine overheats whenever I'm charging it. Sometimes if I have a different wattage charger, it does overheat or gets very, very warm. When I edit anything on Lightroom, it will get hot. It will get hot, and it's just one of those things. It's just one of those things that happen. When I'm sharing my hotspot with, someone else, it tends to get very warm, and while having it plugged into the charger, because obviously it's draining my battery. So that tends to get hot. I'm not a big fan of that. It's just subconsciously or just in my mind, I'm just like, what is wrong with this phone? And that's just every time it happens, that's just what comes to my mind. It's 9:36 and I've been using the phone here and there with social media, things like that, texting my wife, all that good stuff. I'm at 75%. And I have a habit of not charging my phone at night. I'll be at 20% left for the day or 10%, 15%, and I won't charge it. I'm like, I have faith that this is going to last me until my alarm goes off at 3:30 in the morning, because that's the time I go to the gym, get ready, and go to, not the time I go to the gym, but the time I get ready to go to the gym, because I'm there by 4:10 around that time. But today I was like, you know what? I need to do this review and I need to really, get back into my channel type thing. And I'm like, let me charge it. And I charged it to 90%. It wasn't 100%, it was 90%, and we're at 75%. Okay. So I'm looking at my things here. Let me go ahead and start screen recording so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, 3, 2, 1, boom, starts recording. All right, so 75% right now. Also my brightness, I'm either like a quarter or half. Unless I'm outside, I bump it all the way to the max. So my daily usage, my average, you guys can see here. Let me see, view all battery usage. So here you can see that, around Monday, I used it a lot. And I charged it by around 12 p.m. I charged it because it was, what percentage was it on? It was around probably 60 or 70%. And then the day before, and then after that, around 6 a.m., it was close to probably 50%. And then I used it for a good minute. I did some editing here and there, and I was able to go all the way close to 11, it looks like, and then I charged it, and then I went all the way. So screen on time or active time, about 7-8 hours. So not too bad. And you guys can see here, TikTok is the first one, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and then the camera. If you guys see all the way at the bottom, always display on, is only taking 6% of my battery, which is not bad at all. Freaking call came through, so my screen recording stopped. All these spam calls, guys. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of all these spam calls. So another thing that I really love about just any type of iPhones altogether, the selfie camera is very consistent with any platform, social media, anything. You can always expect the same look, the same outcome, the same everything, right? The colors are pretty much the same anytime you film video or take a picture. So that's one of the best things that I love about iPhones or iOS is just the selfie camera is always consistent. With other phones, you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't know if I'm gonna get something different because it for some reason never talks to the main camera on the back. It's always something different, right? But that's what I like about the iPhone experience. Also for content creators, for anybody that makes any type of videos, iPhone is the way to go because it's the most optimized, right? Right behind it, I always recommend the Galaxy lineup, which could be the S25, the S24, or the S23. That's when it started to really get good on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, all that good stuff. So I'm curious to see what the Pixel 10 will do with the social media. But that's kind of what I love about the iPhone. You know, annoying things, of course, every phone is going to have their annoying little things, but it's all about what you want at the time, right? What kind of experience you want. And right now I want to go away from iOS and go into Android again. So all right, guys. So just to wrap the video up here, I have a Samsung 34-inch. I can't remember what this is called, but it keeps going in and out. I've checked all the connections, and it keeps doing it on both of my computers. So I don't think it's one of my computers. Anyways, if you guys know, let me know. But I did go ahead and place an order for the Pixel 10 Pro. So that is going to be on the way. It's already on the way now. So full review is going to come on the way on the channel. Again, I'm going to go full on this channel, see what happens. I love tech review. I love testing phones out. So all in all, guys, the 16 Pro is a great phone if you're upgrading from, from a 12 down. Arguably a 13, but the 13 was such an amazing phone. And this is being recorded on the 16 Pro. That way you guys know exactly what you're gonna get at with the video. I got my little tree here, trying to get festive and trying to get ready for our little boy. And but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more content. We're gonna be doing the Pixel Pro, the Pixel 10 Pro, the OnePlus 15, the Fold 7, and any other phones that I can get my hands on. I know some people wanted me to test out some older devices like older Pixels, just to see how they're doing on social media, or just to see how they do on a day-to-day type use. So if you guys want to see any of those tests, comment below. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.